So the Great Resignation is something that we really started seeing once the pandemic hit, where individuals were starting to work from home a lot more, and once being kind of recalled to the office, many kind of have chosen to not do so, and as a result have left either for a job that would allow them to, or have just left the workforce altogether, looking for a different opportunity that would give them that sort of flexibility. How this really affects organizational security posture is that with all these individuals leaving, organizations need to have a good plan in place for how they're going to clean up where these individuals have access to. Now, when it comes to username and password, that's a pretty well flushed out situation scenario. It's well understood. When it comes to SSH keys, it's a little bit more tricky. What we're seeing is individuals and organizations don't have a good methodology for going at this problem. Number one, because they don't have the inventory. So they don't know where the keys are in the organization. So if John Doe quits, they not only have to know where his private keys are, but then they also have to know where he had access to with that private key. Additionally, so with that, there's risk associated there. Now, was this individual someone who potentially could someday do something nefarious with those keys? Is it somebody who could maybe realize that he had a high level of access, or she had a high level of access, and sell those keys to a third party who could benefit from having that level of access? So I think what companies are really looking into, and what they really need to take a hard look at, is inventorying all of their SSH keys. So not only do you have that inventory of where those SSH keys are, what level of access they're going to have, being able to act quickly. So if Jane Doe leaves the company, we have a process in place to say, okay, I know that she had 2 private keys with authorized keys out and on other hosts. We can go in and quickly remove those keys. So now if she were to have taken a copy of her private key, that would be no longer valuable or of any sort of use to that individual, or to anybody who could potentially gain access with that key there. Additionally, if this individual is part of the team and they had access to, let's say, keys that were used for a specific application, and keys you don't necessarily want to delete or remove, having the ability to go in and just being able to quickly rotate and switch those keys out. So now, the applications can still fire, everything can still work as needed. And even if that individual took that key along with them, they would no longer be able to do anything, with ill intent, because they wouldn't have that access. The big thing is having that full visibility out into the SSH estate in your actual environment, and then being able to make intelligent decisions of, okay, I know that this individual had access to this many hosts with these specific keys. Let's go ahead and delete their specific keys. Now, doing that in an automated fashion, or being able to go into spot check and make sure that those keys are removed, or if it's regarded to an application, and we want to make sure that application is still going to fire, and we don't want to delete those keys, so we can go ahead and be able to rotate those keys and take care of that in a very quick and seamless process to not interrupt any business processes. So everything's just kind of running seamlessly at that point. The individual leaves, their keys are removed, and then we actually go about our day-to-day business operations, and without any interruptions.